Hey Jim, I uh, I thought I'd probably do better if I did a video instead of tried to do like you did and write all that down because I kind of get lost in it when I do something like that, and it seems like it takes up a lot more space. So I want to try to make this shorter than that, so that people won't get tired of it or bored. So I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But I wanted to address a little bit of the issue that you brought up on gun control and all of that. And my take on it is pretty simple, actually, and it's goes something like this, and that's I don't believe in gun control, and there's a lot of reasons, but I think kind of to address your question, here's the problem. It's kind of like you're in the middle of a hurricane, and now you're trying to figure out how to stop it, and that's not possible because you're already in the middle of it. And that's the way I view what's going on here. You're in the middle of it and you can't stop it. Uh, Picking on a gun, which is an inanimate object, it doesn't do anything unless somebody gets hold of it and does something with it. And here's here's the biggest problem, I guess. You're in the middle of that hurricane. You can't do anything about it. It's already started. But the reason why we're having these killings, and I know that you and a lot of people in my age group have grown up in a time when this didn't exist. The guns did, but this didn't exist. And the problem is this: while everybody's addressing this 17 killings in Florida and immediately attacking guns as the issue started technically at least 50 years ago. There was a plan set in motion. And a lot of people out here, especially in this group, well, I shouldn't say especially in this group, but I know a lot of people in this group, and I'm actually amazed at how do I put this ignorant they are. Because I know they had the same education as I had, and it was a good education. And they should, in some ways, they should be taking things in better than they are because of that by itself. And some of the things that they know spiritually about the times and all of this, they should know better. But it's been real discouraging for me because I am an advocate and I will be. But here's the problem. This didn't start at Florida or Sandy Hook or any of these other places. This started in our system in school. And I'm going to say 2 generations ago of kids, this really started. And our school started getting infiltrated with teachers and professors whose goal was to alter kids' minds, and they have. The second generation out is the ones you see out on the streets right now, protesting. They're for socialism, communism, uh, you name it, women's rights, um, pro-abortions, even to the point of praising Satan. And this came out of our schools. And here's my problem. You guys that are talking about the guns and everything, where were you when this was happening? And this generation that's in school right now, and this time period that we're in right now, they're teaching these kids that they're non-gender, that everything's okay. In grade school, anal sex, no genders. People aren't people, they're purple porpoises or some dumb, stupid thing. I just posted a post here yesterday um, on a soccer coach down in Olympia. For those of you that are from Washington, you know where that's at. And they're starting to play soccer without a ball. And the reason why is because some people just can't play soccer, and it's just not fair to them. And that way they don't have to keep scores. And in other words, they don't have to learn how to win and lose or how to deal with either one of those or any of that. You want to talk about problems? You got a generation out there on the streets right now. I think they tend to call them millennials. They don't know what to do with win and loss. That's why they're calling for socialism, communism. They want everybody to have the same thing. The only problem with that teaching and everything, they forgot to teach them what follows that. And any good history lesson will teach you that socialism/communism always winds up in the same place. And then if you want to talk about, you mentioned carnage. You want to talk about carnage, mass murder, that's when it takes place. And here's my problem. I want to know where all you people are. You guys that are outspoken right now and you want to know what they're going to do about gun laws to protect your kids. You're not taking care of your kids now. You say you are, but you're not. Why are they teaching this crap in schools? Because nobody's saying anything. Shoot, half these schools right now are teaching their kids how to pray to Allah. And you ain't saying anything. And you want to know why this is happening. What do you think a kid's going to do when he comes out of school, out of this generation, and doesn't know whether he's a boy or a girl or male or female, or is not sure, and maybe thinks he's the wrong one? What do you think he's going to do? He's going to be another nutcase like this guy in Florida. So this has nothing to do with guns. It has everything to do with mental illness. It has everything to do with a program, an agenda, which a lot of you people out there who like to pride yourselves as high IQs and professors and teachers and everything, totally just frickin' missed the ball. You don't even know what's going on. You think this is about 17 people in Florida, when if you were paying attention, I tried to say something the other day, and one of the girls that's on this post here called me cherry picking because I put a video of Dianne Feinstein on the Senate floor a couple years ago now, saying if I'd have had 51 votes, I would have said, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn in all your guns because we're taking them all. And I would have done it. And she called that cherry picking. Okay? Why? Because it's cherry picking because why? Because I picked something out that said they're coming for our guns. She's not the only one that said that. And you had a senator here, if you were paying attention, about 4 days ago, on the floor of the Senate, demanding that the UN come in and help confiscate guns. First of all, for those of you that actually do know, that's illegal. They can't do that. The UN can't come in here at all. And the Democrats sure as hell can't bring them in. And actually, neither can the Republicans if they went together on it. Can't do that. But they're doing it. And you're sitting out there calling me a conspiracy theorist because I'm telling you they're coming for the guns. And I can't help it, Dan. You and your peer reviews, that's just flat out out in the open. You don't need a peer review for it. But if you're not listening, then I can't help you. But I do know that some of the things that you guys are espousing, you say are fact checked and all of that. They're not fact checked. You're calling fact checked. Listening to CNN, MSNBC, all the known culprits, Time Magazine, New York Times, all of them, left-wing organizations bought and paid for by the New World Order and George Soros. You want me to fact check that? I'm not going to do it. I already did. You go out and fact check it. And I don't mean like I said, with fake news. Fact check it. Look it up. Look it up in what they call the white paper. It's basically the documents of Agenda 21. Now they've got a new edition of that, Agenda 2030. They tell you right in there. Just like this idiot we have in Washington State here, the governor, getting ready to put a 30 cents tax on gasoline and raising property taxes and all that. But the gas tax is what? For what? Oh, carbon taxes. You know, that thing that some people claim has everything to do with climate change and all that crap. All of that's been denounced. Oh yeah, I know. There's people out there, including the usual CNN and all those guys, claim it's real. But if you actually get in and look at the studies and everything, all the people that aren't paid off to say a certain thing tell you the same thing about it. And then if, like I said, if you go to Agenda 21 and 2030, you find out that the New World Order wants that carbon tax to fund the UN and New World Order. That's what it's about. Some of you guys out there are, I'm not knocking you. I know you want to save a tree. You're an environmentalist or this type of thing. And your heart's in the right place as far as what you're doing or what you think you're doing. But see, the problem is if you know these things about who these people are, you start understanding they don't give a damn about your tree. They don't give a damn about your kids. And what you're doing is they're using you to accomplish their mission. And you can deny it all you want, but it's like I said, if you go out and actually put it together for yourself, look it up, it's all there. I've said this before, I think some of you probably heard me say it. Agenda 21, 2030, New World Order. One of the things on the agenda is to kill 92% of the population of the earth. Let that sink in. And I wonder where your 17 people that died last week are in that thought process. So here's the problem. You guys, I don't mean just you guys, I just mean in general. You haven't done anything for 50 years. You haven't taken care of business. You haven't taken care of your kids. And right now is probably the most crucial time ever, and you're not doing anything. Oh yeah, you're after the guns. Gun control for the 17 people. What about all the other people? Where's your cries for all the slave trade and the massacres going on in the Middle East and in Africa? Where is it? Where's your cries for the people being slaughtered in Red China and North Korea? That's carnage. Where's your cry when these senators and others, other Democrats and liberals, get out on the streets and everything and call for the assassination of the president? It doesn't matter who he is. It happens to be Trump. You know that's illegal? Where's your cries for these guys that are calling for the killing of the cops? If that was anybody but they're black, they get away with it because nobody wants to address the issue because they're afraid they'd be called racist or whatever. Where's your cries for all of that? Where's your cries for the thousands of babies massacred every year at the abortion clinics? You want to save lives? There's a place to start. You want to get this thing back on track? Start cleaning up the schools, start taking care of business at home, knowing where your kids are, and this garbage about, I have a son that's mentally ill, okay? You know where he's at? He's in Western Washington. For those of you that are from this state, you know where that's at. You know what it is. And you know what? I feel horrible about it. But you know what? He's where he belongs because if he was around people that he might be around, their lives would be in danger because he's dangerous. And so for people to say, well, they didn't know, that's bullshit. You know. I went with a son that was okay to uh, turn into paranoid schizophrenic, okay? And I knew my son. And after this took over, I didn't know him anymore. I didn't know who he was. He wasn't anything like the kid that we knew. And we knew when he was doing things that were or just where he was at, that he could be dangerous or whatever. So the idea that, well, they just didn't know, they knew, people know, people knew, schools knew. So what I'm saying is, you want to, if you want to change this, you're going to have to go back and clean up our schools, our teaching, our education system is in the toilet. And it's there on purpose. I know you guys are going to say that's a conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. All you got to do is look. It's in the toilet. And there's a reason for it. It's planned. When these guys say that they want to kill 92% of the population of the Earth, they're not going to just walk out with machine guns and start machine gunning everybody down. They're killing you too. Yeah, here we go again. They're killing you through vaccines, through the water. GMO. They're killing you in a lot of different ways right now, and you don't even know it. The psychological training and program they have in place is so far above most of our heads, you guys have no clue. But they're using it all, and you're buying it. You're spending time here on 17 kids, which is a really bad thing that happened. But that isn't the issue, and that isn't what this is about. And my problem with it is what you're doing during that situation is you're fighting to neutralize the only people that can stop this regime from taking totally over. And if you're involved in this, you're part of the problem, and you don't even know it. You bought into it. You care about the kids. I understand that. They don't. That's the trick. They don't care. And you guys don't understand that. And so, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying not to be mean, okay? But I am upset because people I thought that would understand and would have their eyes open and understand what needed to be done or what shouldn't be done just blew a big hole in my sails the last couple of weeks here. That I'm back to trying to help other people because a lot of you guys on this post, you're all too enlightened. And that's sad, man. Because you know what? You guys grew up just like I did. And this plan has, like I said, been in effect for a long time, but it wasn't far enough in effect that you and I didn't get to grow up and do the things that we wanted to do freely. And now here you are. The only thing that's kept this country free is that Second Amendment. I don't care what Supreme Court justice decided he thought it meant, says, and all of that. He doesn't make the laws, or he shouldn't be. That's the only thing that's made this country different than any other country. It's the only thing that has kept it like this for this long. And it's just sad that you guys won't open up your eyes enough to understand the real issue. And like I said, it's not about these 17 kids. It's not about Sandy Hook. It's not about any of those things. Those are just tragedies that these people have weaponized to do what they're going to do. Just like your thing with the border. And I imagine some of you, I've got a sad feeling, are totally against that. And you're all for letting all the people in. And we're going to have a lot of problems with that. And if you take away our capabilities of fighting back, I know for a fact that a lot of you will never stand up and fight for your own rights. You'll stay in your, I call them, you'll stay in your little Jesus capsules and let somebody else do the dirty work. And you'll pray that they win so that you can keep on doing what you do. And I'm willing to do that. A lot of people are willing to do that. But my thing about it is okay, stay over there nice and safe, but get the hell out of the way. And do not neuter the people that are going to wind up saving your butt. Because that's what it's coming down to. I probably said too much already, and probably none of it makes any sense to you guys. So after this, I'm moving on. And if you guys won't look this stuff up for yourself, and I'm like I said, I don't mean mainline media because they're all on the same side. All you got to do is look and see what they're putting out. They're all anti-Trump. Everything's left. Figure it out. But I'm done here. I'm not gonna sit here and fight with anybody, any of you guys anymore. I hope it all works out for you. Bye.